This is another game I played during chess camp against an opponent that was a lot weaker. They played d4. I was playing black. I rolled my knight. King's Indian defense. Well, technically it's a perk defense, but who cares? They made the mistake of e5. Now their king's lost right to castle, and f2 is hanging. e5 is under defended. And if I take on f2, it's a fork. He moved his king back to defend. As a spoiler. We traded in the center. And he prevented my king from castling. So I developed my knight with the intention of castling the other way. He pins it, I break the pin. Brings his knight forward. He brought his knight forward, trying to fork. I bring my bishop back, defending both forks. He pushes a pawn, and I castle. He attacks e7 one more time. I kick away his bishop. He moves his bishop back. I move my rook. And here he makes a mistake. This move. I took his bishop. And here he can take my bishop, or he can take my knight, which he did in the game. And of course here he should just simply take my bishop, and then just try and survive the endgame. But he makes a bit of a mistake. He takes here. He goes for my rook. I moved the king over, and he took my rook. And after I recaptured, I have 2 bishops for the rook. We have the same number of pawns, but I'm up 1 point of material because 2 bishops are 6 and 1 rook is 5. And the big lesson I want you to learn from this is it's almost never a good idea to exchange your rook for 2 pieces like this. He attacked one of my bishops. I moved it to attack it. Now b2 is hanging, g3 is hanging. He tries to survive. I take a pawn. I retreat my bishop. So now I have 2 bishops and a pawn for a rook. And he moves his king to try and bring his rooks to the open files. As if his rooks can infiltrate, that's the only way he wins, or at least not loses. I put my rook behind the bishop. He puts his rook in front of my bishop. I moved it, and I start giving checks with my bishops, and eventually realized this was going nowhere, and slowly just started repositioning them. I played a6 to prevent any back rank checkmate, and he took my rook. I recaptured, and the game just went on. And he is still down 2 points of material. I attack that, and we trade the pawns. I defend mine. And I slowly reposition my bishops so that they could attack on both sides of the board. They were defending the g6 pawn and preparing an attack on the king side. Just win all the pawns there. He gave a check. I simply moved my king. He tried to attack c7. I played c6. Now he doesn't win a pawn, and his rook looks stupid there. So I've effectively placed his rook in a very passive position, which can do almost nothing. Where it can do almost nothing to defend my attack on the king side, on the queen side. He played b4. I started attacking his pawns. He cannot save it, so he played this to solidify his other pawn. I took it. He put his rook there. I attacked his other pawn, and here, his second fatal mistake. Rook e3. If I like to pause, what's the winning move here for black? If you can just have a look at that, the correct move is bishop to d4. Very simply, it's a pin. You have a very simple intention. Next move, you take the rook. Your opponent can't do anything about it. I traded the bishop for the rook, and just started pushing my pawn. Then attacking his pawns with my king, then push this pawn. He attacked my bishop, and instead of moving it, I sacrificed it with g3, because now he cannot stop my pawn. He goes after my pawn, even though he can't stop it. I push it again. He still cannot stop my pawn. He should have taken the bishop, but he still tries to stop my pawn, and I promote it. And he moves his king over. I check him with my bishop, and just started slowly forcing his king into the corner. And He moved his king here. I gave a powerful check with my bishop. Check, 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 and finally, his defeat happened. Checkmate. Like, the major lesson of that is to never trade 2 pieces for your opponent's rook. Like, going all the way back here, like the moment I was given 2 bishops for his rook, if the position was closed, then his rook might have stood a chance, but a very slim chance. But since the center was wide open, like, especially never trade your rook for 2 bishops in an open position like this. Never trade, especially never trade 2 bishops for a rook in an open position like this. Because that's just game. That's game over. Like, you saw how I just started slowly improving my position, slowly grinding down his, then just start attacking all his pawns, won his rook, promoted a pawn, and then checkmated him. It's like, major lesson is never give up 2 pieces for the rook. And especially not for 2 bishops in an open position like this.